Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand all the latest cues from the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade. We'll also get you expert views to find out where exactly are opportunities emerging for you as equity investors at this time where the markets are constantly scaling new record levels. Let's look at how the benchmark indices are doing at this point in time. Well, the Sensex has scaled that Mount 65K in today's trading action, and you're also seeing the Nifty above 19,303 with a gain of 115 odd points or 0.6% move. The Sensex is comfortably up by about 430 odd points at 65,149 currently. So very strong market breadth coming in. The broader markets also supporting the markets. The Nifty Bank is up by 0.8% at those record levels again. So the Nifty Bank is supporting the broad markets, especially the small cap 100 index. That's scaling almost 1% gains in today's trading action. So those are the supportive factors for the markets right now. The market breadth comfortably in favor of the advances today. Among the sectoral action, apart from the Nifty Bank, it's the Nifty Auto that's hovering around the all-time high levels as well at 15,132. You're also seeing, financial services up by 1%, metals shining bright by over 1% gains today, PSU banks up by 1.5% odd as well. So these are some of the sectors that are oil and gas space. Don't lose sight of that. Almost 2% uptick for the oil and gas stocks as well today. Half odd percent gains coming in for the realty pack for the primary market space as well. There you see Nifty oil and gas at over 2% gains coming in on that one. Barring say losses coming in for the FMCG for the IT pack. Apologies. IT pack half odd percent losses today. Pharma pack half odd percent losses today. The healthcare space slightly down and the consumer durable slightly down in trade. Barring these indices, rest of the sectors are actually supporting the market mood in today's trading action. Let's look at the top Nifty gainers at this point in time as far as the big market movers on the Nifty index are concerned. You're seeing BPCL up by 3%, explains the kind of move on the index as well. Reliance Industries up by 2.2%, 2606. So the counter is finally moving now. Grasim is up by 2.5%. From the cement pack, you're seeing even Ultratech cement at all-time high levels as well. 84.30 currently for the Ultratech counter. ITC, HDFC. Of course, both the HDFC twins are gaining in trade today, and the markets are giving a thumbs up to the impending amalgamation that we are looking at. So those are the sectors, stocks that are supporting the market mood. Let's welcome our guest on the show now. Mr. Vineet Bolinchkar joins in. He's the head of research at Ventura Securities. Welcome, Vineet, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, 3 days consecutively, and the markets are not showing any signs of being tired or exhaustion coming in. The Sensex has scaled 65,000 for the very first time today. The Nifty over 19,300. So the markets are in this uncharted territory. What is your own sense of where are the markets headed from here?
So, just the market has supported our belief that, things will only get better in spite of all the negative cues around inflation, interest rates, and the conflict that is emerging that is continuing to happen in Ukraine and Russia, and
Yeah.
also the recession that is playing out in the West, right? So, I believe that we have hit escape velocity, we are in new territory, and, if you see the earnings, Nifty is at a shade below 18 times FY24 December, right? So it's at very benign valuations. If you see the small cap index, it is almost under 14 times the same period, right? So these two spaces, in my opinion, are going to
Okay.
get the biggest allocations coming in. And not only do we have the valuation re-rating that will happen, but we will also have an earnings upgrade given the fact that our economy is firing on all four cylinders. As far as the mid caps are concerned, I believe that they're trading at 20 times, so there will be a pause out here. But I believe that within the mid caps, only those stocks which have got a very strong earnings growth trajectory over the next 3 years should be bought into, else you will miss out on making money in these markets. Uh,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
just to highlight, I just want to add a couple of geopolitical uh, take from my side. See, if you see the Ukraine crisis, the Ukrainians are losing 9 soldiers for every 1 soldier that the Russians lose. Second is they completely run out of arsenal, and they've run out of people who can fight the war for them. Also, if they were to get the F-16s, it would be almost 24 months before they can be trained to use them. So this war is definitely coming to a culmination. And as a desperate measure, what the US has done is they've done a deal with China, right? Where China has stopped completely providing any export material to the Russians. That leaves India in a very advantageous position because already there is a Russian surplus for the oil that is given to us, and Russia will be now banking on India for their, uh, all their requirements, be it from industrial to textiles to everything that is possible, right? So that gives a very, very big thumbs up to our export potential.
Yeah.
And the China plus one is also firing in because we are far cheaper than the Chinese.
Yeah.
So although the US has struck a deal with the Chinese, that does not necessarily mean that the China plus one goes away. In fact, our wage inflation that is persisting in China is very high, and we have the best of labor rates to offer with the best of
Sure.
administrative environment. So I
Sure.
believe that things could not have been better than what we could forecast.
Absolutely, Vineet. Now, the big question that investors have on their minds is that how should one really navigate the markets at these record levels? What is the best strategy that investors must have? Do you have some themes, some sectors in mind? Do you have some kind of stocks that investors should be looking at, and now including in their portfolios, even if one wants to chase the momentum right now in the markets?
So as I said, focus on the earnings growth over the next 2 years. Do a deep dive. The Q is accumulate reports of various brokerage houses and form an opinion on where the highest growth is coming, and zero in those stocks and buy. Just to give you a few kickers, I think that the PSU banking space is drastically undervalued. The differential between a PSU bank and a private bank is not much there anymore because there is a limit to which the private banks can score on an ROA, whereas the inefficiencies of the PSU banks and their valuations are going to play catch up. Already
Okay.
today we had the news that March 23 numbers were the lowest in terms of net NPA. Our PCR coverage is also very strong. So I think we are very adequately provided for, and the growth of our the growth of lending is also going to be very strong, 13-14% average for the PSBs. So I believe that the valuation offer a very, very unique spot for people to buy into. Bank of Maharashtra is one of our favorite stocks.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 1700 crores of excess valuation. They will continue to grow at 25% lending. They've got nearly 50 to 53% as CASA ratio. So I think this stock will spring a surprise. Also, they are going for an IPO because they want to raise money, because of which the stock has been a drag. But once that is done, this stock will raise to $50. Apart from this, we like PNB Housing. We believe that that stock has got wheels now. The change of guard has happened there, and the historical pains of the NPAs are through, and we expect some rapid growth not only in terms of loan book dispersals, but also sharp declines in the NPAs. So that is one stock which is not in the focus of the market, and we believe that stock should do very well.
Okay, understood that. The other, apart from the banking space, what's also buzzing in trade today is the auto pack. Of course, we're seeing the auto sales numbers come out for the month of June. We're seeing several stocks in focus today, especially Tata Motors that has zoomed to 52-week high levels. It has been scaling these fresh record levels as well for the past many sessions. And to top it all, today we've heard from Tata Motors that they are planning to hike prices of some of their models starting July 17th as well. So that's also pushing the stock higher in trade. In fact, 594 odd currently for the stock. Your own thoughts on the auto basket amidst the auto sales figures? Are you finally looking at some opportunities that investors must bet on here?
So we were very early on to catch this trend. We had initiated on Tata Motors at 410, and we have a target of 713 in our mind.
Okay.
So that will play out over the next 1 year. Uh, Apart from Tata Motors, I think the auto anchors are one space that investors should look at. because the export opportunity here is very, very huge. We like India, the stock may look overpriced, but they have got all the they are present in all the right verticals, not only from an export standpoint, they've got creme de la creme brands that they supply to, but also in the domestic market, they're leaders in their own right. So we believe that these two stocks offer a differentiated play, and these stocks should continue to do well going ahead.
Okay. What about, stocks like M&M, Maruti, all at both at 52-week high levels again? And of course, from the two-wheeler basket, we've been seeing some momentum coming in off late on both Hero, TVS kind of stocks as well. How should one be looking at these two baskets?
So, there's an interesting trend playing out that although we talk of EVs, the EV volumes are actually declining.
Okay.
So that is why the entire auto pack is doing well, and they should post better numbers given the fact that the street expectations on them is very, very low. So we like the two wheelers. There our favorite plays Aisha Motors, followed by TVS, and then Hero Motors, purely based on valuations. Bajaj Auto is also doing well. Uh, in the car segment, we like Maruti. Their portfolio from about 13%, from 6% share of revenue, it has grown to 13% for SUVs. And they itself this year they're expecting to take it to 25%. So that means that the ASP per car is obviously going to go up. Even if the margins remain the same, we are going to get very, very healthy growth rates in terms of earnings. So on a very large base, they will continue their earnings momentum, and we are expecting this stock to touch around 15 1500 levels in the next 12 to 24 months.
Okay, understood that too. What about the tractor majors? Anything that you are looking at over here amid the monsoon's progress now? Is that something, a space that interests you?
Definitely. So, M&M should continue to do well, and all the other tractor plays also should keep doing very well. Escorts is another stock that we think, with the foreign management in place, should do very well. I think that stock is, kind of not given enough correct valuations, and we expect that stock to do really well going ahead.
All right, understood that. Well, thank you so much, Vineet, for being with us on the show and discussing all these pockets with us and all our viewers as well, helping them understand what is the best way to approach the markets and these stocks and sectors in momentum as we are scaling newer highs on an everyday basis. Even now, as we speak, 65,197. Currently for the Sensex up by 480 odd points. So the momentum is only building on 7.7% of a move on the upside. 19,318 currently for the Nifty. 130 points up in trade. What's next for the markets? How long will this bull run continue? If those are the stock questions that are on your minds, then you should stick with us on Business Today TV as we continue to dissect more and more with all the experts, talk more about as to how should you as equity investors be looking at your own investments in equities at this point in time. So do stay tuned on to Business Today TV. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. Until then, thanks for tuning in.
Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I am Siddharth Zarabi and with me Robin Rana. Welcome to Business Today Television, and I should